Hi guys, my name's Allie. This is for my writing senior seminar class. Wanted to show you guys my dog. Gussie, come here. This is Gus. Come here, hop up. Come on. He's a German Shepherd. He's really cute and he's a nice boy. If he barks, I apologize. Okay, let's start it off. The keywords from this week were technology, technological communication, and network. I'm going to start off with technology and Dennis Barron's piece, Pencils from Pencils to Pixels. He writes that writing itself is always first and foremost a technology, a way of engineering materials in order to accomplish an end, on page 692. Barron argues that computers are the newest advancement in writing technology by comparing them to a pencil. Like computers, pencils are tools used to create a piece of work. Computers are merely new tools that perform the same tasks as pencils. Like computers, writing was always met with some backlash. Barron points out Plato's opinion of writing on page 694 when it was first introduced, saying it was unnatural and untrustworthy, and that it weakens our memories. Walter J. Ong gives us a better perspective on the history of developing writing as a technology in his piece, The Orality of Language. Ong compares and ties together orality and literacy by providing us with a history of the development of writing. Rhetoric, according to Aristotle in his Art of Rhetoric text, was and had to be a product of writing, as Ong references in The Orality of Language. Speeches were always given orally and written down afterwards for recording purposes. And Ong on page 10 writes that orally composed speeches were studied not as speeches but as written texts. When rhetoric was first introduced, writing was able to enhance public speeches, which were always oral. The development of writing speeches beforehand helped them to be delivered with nothing remaining to be worked over, as Ong writes also on page 10. Being critical and reflective of new technological communications that arise is important in our field, in any other field, but specifically ours. Cynthia L. Self does this well in her piece, The Humanization of Computers. She has pieces of advice on the use of computers in teaching literacy, or when teaching literacy. Most important to me was remembering that computers complicate the business of literacy. She introduces the idea of computer literacy on page 70. She defines it as a whole new and distinct set of grammatical conventions involving virtual. Sorry, I got a phone call. That was weird. Of course that happens. I'll start that quote over. It's defined as a whole new and distinct set of grammatical conventions involving virtual or online text rather than printed text, screens rather than pages, and file directories rather than table of contents. Growing up as computers were becoming more and more common in the classroom, but never being fully online until the beginning of COVID, our generation is able to understand this application of writing and computer literacy as a technological communication, and it's become our reality. And then finally, I'm going to go over the keyword network from Jeff Rice's piece, Networked Exchanges, Identity and Writing. He picked a specific example of this new computer literacy that Self writes about. Blogging is a phenomenon that has moved across all disciplines. I myself have participated in blogging, more on the academic side of it. Rice described blogging and the use of computer literacy as the creation of networks through responses. Rice writes on page 296 that network exchanges depend greatly on the principle of response, how writers engage with, produce, and continue writing because of how responses are exchanged in a given electronic space. Blogging is something many have turned to during the pandemic to create online networks in academic and personal fields when they can't be made in person. Writing has always warranted the creation of networks through response with rewriting, revising, and peer reviewing. This has usually been done with the exchange of papers between academic scholars. Blogs have made this response exchange more accessible, faster than ever, with responses coming in from all different parts of the world across all discourse or all disciplines. I'm gonna have some questions that I want to pose to the class. What do you think the next advancement in writing technology might be? Do you think the introduction of computers to writing has implications that are far greater than its benefits? And how could blogging be refined to benefit more academic writing and create a network across the globe that improves literacy and advancements in our discipline as well as others? For example, would scientific writing have a platform in the blogging community? That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching, sticking through that little mishap with the phone call. And yeah, cool.